For some time, though, he struggled for more to hold on to. "Are you sure you have told me everything you know about his death?" he asked. I said, "Everything. It's not much, is it?" "No," I replied, "but you can love completely without complete understanding." "That I have known and preached," my father said. Once my father came back with another question. "Do you think I could have helped him?" he asked. Even if I might have thought longer, I would have made the same answer. "Do you think I could have helped him?" I answered. We stood waiting in deference to each other. How can a question be answered that asks a lifetime of questions? After a long time, he came with something he must have wanted to ask from the first. "Do you think it was just a stick-up and foolishly he tried to fight his way out? You know what I mean, that it wasn't connected with anything in his past?" "The police don't know," I said. "But do you?" he asked, and I felt the implication. I've told you all I know. If you push me far enough, all I really know is that he was a fine fisherman." "You know more than that," my father said. "He was beautiful." "Yes," I said, "he was beautiful, and you should have been. You taught him." My father looked at me for a long time. He just looked at me. So this was the last he and I ever said to each other about Paul's death. Indirectly, though, he was present in many of our conversations. Once, for instance, my father asked me a series of questions that suddenly made me wonder whether I understood even my father, whom I felt closer to than any other man I have ever known. "You like to tell stories, don't you?" he asked, and I answered yes. I like to tell stories that are true. "Then," he asked, "after you have finished your true stories sometime, why don't you make up a story and the people to go with it? Only then will you understand what happened and why. It is those we live with and love and should know who elude us. Now nearly all those I have loved and did not understand when I was young are dead, but still I reach out to them. Of course, now I am too old to be much of a fisherman, and now, of course, I usually fish the big waters alone, although some friends think I shouldn't. Like many fly fishermen in western Montana, where the summer days are almost Arctic in length, I often do not start fishing until the cool of the evening. Then, in the Arctic half-light of the canyon, all existence fades into a being with my soul and memories and the sound of the Blackfoot River and a 4-count rhythm and the hope that a fish will rise. Eventually, all things merge into one and a river runs through it. The river was cut by the world's great flood and runs over rocks from the basement of time. On some of the rocks are timeless raindrops. Under the rocks are the words, and some of the words are theirs. I am haunted by waters.